All right, here we go. Here we go. Trying this thing on Friday for the first time. Here we go. What's happening, everybody? What's happening, nobody? I can't expect with 5 seconds for people to be around. What's going on? Friday is a new experiment because we usually do this thing on Sunday, but this time we're on Friday, and I made my announcement. Do you need that announcement? That's a good question. Do you need that announcement beforehand? Is the announcement necessary beforehand? Should we do that announcement just to say in an hour's time, I'm going to enter the airwaves. It's going to be marvelous, wonderful, it's beautiful. I don't know. I have no idea if I need that, but I just go through the motions. Just going through the motions. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The kidnapping. I'm not going to talk about it. No kidnapping here. I have no interest. I have no idea. That's cold. That's cold. I just have no interest. I have no idea why. I hope this poor soul is alive and well. I hope she's doing very, very well. I have no idea. And I hope this whole thing turns out positively. I don't see how it can, but there's no way we're going to talk about that. You can talk. Actually, it's your prerogative. Who said that in a stupid song? It's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. Who was that? I have no idea. Hey, sweetheart. When all else fails, just count on the wife. You see what happens? Cynthia is there. I mean, she's pulling no punches. She's right there. How are you? Oh, there's my buddy Jim. Oh my gosh. This man is so loyal. Such a loyal person. I have no idea who he is. He doesn't know who I am, not really. We don't hang out, but we have a good time. We have a good time back and forth on the comment section. The comment section is everything, or it's nothing. I have no idea. There are some people that put up some first rate material, but they don't comment. They're too cool for commenting. They have no inclination to comment. They just refuse to comment. I kind of waste my time, not waste. I didn't say that. I kind of spend my time commenting back or replying. I should say replying. I spend my time replying. I make sure I reply to everybody. Sometimes people are very cruel. I reply anyway. I couldn't care less. Be as dastardly as you can. Be as what was the on Golden Pond, 1981. I think Katharine Hepburn said to the great Hank Fonda in that movie, he said, she said, "You can be as poopy as you wanna be. I don't care, Norman. Be as poopy as you wanna be, Norman. Just continue to be poopy to everyone, Norman. See if I care." It was beautiful. Kate Hepburn, she had, she she that's true. It's true, honey. She had a lot of panache, and when she was on the screen, watch out. Kate Hepburn, she made her appearance on the Dick Cavett program, first, TV appearance in a talk show way back when, maybe circa 1973, something like that. She came in before the actual taping, and she cleaned the set, rearranged the set, redecorated the set, warned Dick Cavett, "If you make a fool out of me on this program, I'll have your head." He said, Dick Cavett, if you try to make a fool of me, I will." It was beautiful. It really was. But nevertheless, what is on your mind today? As the great Bob Grant once said, "What is on your mind today?" Eh? He would always say, "What is on your mind today?" Eh? Then one time he caught himself and he said, "I shouldn't say anymore. It's silly to say after a question." He caught himself for 2 days. He actually staved that off for 2 days. until the third day he said, "Eh?" And everybody left. Everybody broke up in the studio. Harley Carnes broke up. The traffic guy, Joe Nolan, broke up. The board up. I don't know who he was. He broke up. It was really beautiful. Bob Grant Ciro Gigante. Bob Grant Ciro, aka Ciro Gigante. The name was too Italian. You see, back in those days, if you were too Italian, like Ralph Romeo, too Italiano. Oh no, she's a too Italiano. You can use. Back in those days, you could not use an Italian name because people would associate your name with the mafia. As silly as that is, they would associate your name with the mafia, and you'd get this kind of reputation that you didn't deserve. That was the see. They talk about racism and these type of things. The Italians, we took it on the chin. The Italians, this is my cheek. I'm sorry. The Italians, the Italians took it on the chin. Oh my God. With in the Bible, you hit me here. The Italians were expected to turn the cheek and get clocked over here. That's what they expected. Do you believe that? That's the truth. Get off my phone. Get off my phone. Who was that? Gino. I went to school with a guy named Gino. I borrowed his basketball one time. Gino, check this out. I borrowed his basketball one time and I didn't give it up. I didn't give it back for 3 weeks. This guy sent the mafia over to my house. I'm just talking about mafia, right? He had all the Italian spaghetti benders and he sent them all over to my house to get the stupid basketball. I said, I just borrowed this basketball 3 weeks ago. What the hell are you doing? Hey, Hirsch. 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 Who was Hirsch? Who's the actor? Hirsch. Not Judd Hirsch. Hirsch, the first name, Hirsch. He had a big bushy mustache. Where's Elephant when you need it? He had a big bushy mustache. Oh no, it was Herschel Bernardi. So he was Italian with a name like Hirsch. He had to be half Jewish and half Italian. You don't name your Italian son Hirsch. Sorry, Hirsch. That's not the way things work, Hirsch. Herschel Bernardi, remember? But getting back to something else. On Fridays, he'd let the callers go. Yeah, on Friday. No, you know what he did? You know what he did? On Fridays, who was that? Gino, what I told you, Gino, manager Gino. Gino gives me good ideas. I mean, he's set me up. I gotta sit back a minute. Back in the old days, what was I gonna say? Darn it. I forgot Bob Grant. Something I was gonna pull the microphone over here. Something I was gonna say about Bob Grant. And I just don't know, but who cares? Grant, until he said, I'm getting distracted by these wonderful comments. Until he said something about a dignitary hoping he'd die in a plane crash, until he said that, Grant was just skating by in his questionable material. If you remember, he would push that proverbial envelope every chance he got. I'm screaming, I have no idea why. Push the envelope every chance he got. And when he pushed it too far, that's it, Ron Brown. Ron Brown. Right. I throw it out there. Somebody comes back, man. Somebody comes back. Oh man, look at that. Somebody comes back. Oh, somebody comes back. Yeah, he said, I hope not Rob Brown, Ron. I hope Ron Brown dies in a plane crash. It's too bad. Something like that. Some really. He didn't get suspended. He never got suspended. He would say things that now, if, for instance, Greg Kelly, he's so talented. Oh my goodness. I don't know who I'd choose, Greg Kelly or Bob Grant. I think he's on the airwaves right now. Who would I choose? No, I think the other guy's on. Who would I choose? He would he would say, I gotta stop. I can't look. I can't look at these things. They're too. I have to. I will be looking at 'em every chance I get. Trust me. But my God, Grant would get away with murder. Then Jay Diamond, who's going to be on my channel. I talked to Jay Diamond for about an hour and a half, and he's going to be on this channel come rain or shine sometime very soon within the next 5 days, he promised me. He's very afraid to come on the airwaves. He considers these airwaves. I don't consider these airwaves, not really. I don't know what they are. Where am I right now? In space? What am I actually doing right now? Am I in space? I have no idea, but he said he would come. He promised me. Jay Diamond promises you something. You know it's going to come true. He said, I'll be on your airwaves, come rain or shine. I said, what could the weather have to do with it, Jay? He said, I just want to make sure you know. I want to make sure you know I'm coming on your channel. I invited him on the radio show and he nixed me. But on this channel, yes, he will appear. And by the way, Jay Diamond was over here. I'm trying to over here to the right? Over here. Jay Diamond was here. And he ended up over here. Somehow he made that complete 180. 180. My God, Jay Diamond. And I love him. He was talking in such derogatory terms when I was talking to him for an hour last Sunday. I think more like an hour and a half. He went on and on. I said maybe 3 words. Um, finally got his number. I was able to get his number. I was able to actually dial the phone. Boop, boop, boop. I'm used to the rotary dial. More like the rotary. I'm a rotary kind of guy. I still have a rotary phone. I really don't. I like to say I do. And Jay, beautiful, the recluse. He actually, since the last appearance on WABC, he has not left his apartment. Jay Diamond has not left his apartment for 35 years. I'm kidding. But he's a recluse, kind of. He's a recluse. I was wondering, when would you do the video on modern day music? Because I've been dying about modern day music. The video will be 2 minutes long. You mean that noise that they call modern day music? You mean that electronic bullshit that they call music? Is that what you're talking about? Get off my lawn. For Christ's sakes, get off my lawn. Is that what you're talking about? I assume you are. Because man, oh man, my beautiful Cindy, she just chimed in for the first time, the music, and she said, I wouldn't make it more than 2 minutes. Yeah, you wouldn't make it more than 2, right? Even a shorter period than 2 minutes. My God. How about the Greek diner? Yeah, the Greek diner, the Rio diner. I once went to see Bob Grant at the Rio. I had an omelet there. Let me tell you something. I don't know where the Rio diner stands today, how good or bad the Rio diner is today. I have no clue whatsoever. But years ago, when I went to see Grant at the Rio diner, I got myself it tasted as though, do you remember a super pinky when you played stickball, the real thing with a stick? Self-hitting with a stick? The omelet at the Rio diner actually tasted like a super pinky. And the toast was like a catcher's mitt. And the potatoes were like, I don't know. I mistook them for sardines. They were so weird. And the Rio diner, he would brag about the Rio diner. My God. But Grant swore that his hair was real. He swore his hair. By the way, people think I have they say, nice. I've heard people say it twice. These jackasses. This is my hair, you goofball. If I got a toupee, right? You goof. I can't remember his name. I would tell him right off right now if I could remember. If I could just remember his name, I'd tell him right off. I get a brown, big brown thing on my hair. I wouldn't go down to the gray. My natural hair, natural color, you jerk. I love you though. Without you, I don't exist. Did Hannity work? Hannity couldn't carry Bob Grant's water. Hannity could not do what I'm doing for myself. Hannity could not carry Bob Grant's water. Okay? I just did what Bill O'Reilly does, okay? After every sentence. He could not carry. And by the way, you think I'm listening to radio all the time? I'm really not. I'm just very well versed. I don't have that station on 24 hours a day. I'm doing, I just don't. But just from past experience, and I am a radio junkie to a certain extent, but it's a little much now. And the people aren't as good anymore. But I know enough. I can listen to a program one time, know if the guy is any potential, is he good, is he bad, is he in between. Actually, I would say about 30 seconds, I can tell you the talent of the host. Three syllables. Three syllables is all it's going to take. Three. The greatest voice on radio ever, besides myself. The greatest voice in radio ever. I'm telling you, even though it's not the classic, the greatest elocution, the greatest verbiage, the greatest grammatical acuity has to be Jay Diamond. If you think about it, Jay's going to be on this channel. I have to say it again. If you think about it, I think that Jay Diamond is Mark Simone is a shell of of what he once was. Mark Simone mails it in every day. Simone just mails the thing in every day. He has the same guests rotating. You know what I'm talking about. He's rotating with these stupid guests. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some mediocre. He's rotating every week the same guest. Once in a while, he'll throw a wrench in the whole deal, and he'll bring in somebody new. It's a rare occasion. Mark, your message was restricted, Gino. Take it easy. And Mark's got more talent. Mark actually rivals my voice. He almost has as good a voice as yours truly. Not quite, not quite, but he almost does. Almost has a voice as good, but he mails it in. And don't let Simone fool you. He was no right-wing zealot. Mark Simone was no right-wing guy. This was not Mark Simone 15 years ago. Have you noticed that as close as he says that he is to the president has never made an appearance on the Mark Simone program. Conspiracy theory. I think the president is really Woodrow Wilson. I don't think Trump is occupying Pennsylvania Avenue. I think Woodrow Wilson from the crypt has come back. Who could ever forget Bob Grant Mario? Mario, send me to the problems facim. Somebody actually is beautiful. Somebody actually, Mario, send me to the problems facim. I'm off key a little bit, but that's probably what it was. You know what that says in Italian? What that means in Italian? Mario, listen to me. Your face looks like a catcher's mitt. That's what that means. But you know something? Andrew Cuomo is not a pimple on his father's rear end. His father was eloquent. He wasn't that great, like they say. He was up there though. He was eloquent, articulate. He elocution wise, he was beautiful. Mario, Italiano, Mario, what do you say to Mario? Mario was a number one. Let me tell you, a number one. Who could ever forget? Great radio, 3 a.m. Never missed a great. Never. Yeah, once in a while, even the great Bob Grant, the great Ciro Gigante, actually mailed it in. Once in a while, he mailed it in. If you notice, but again, if you're on the radio He'd say, "Oh, I gotta get out of here. Oh, I got" when you get a bad call, he'd say, "Oh, I gotta get out of here. Oh, I really gotta get out of here." But you know what? If you didn't love that, if you if you didn't I don't like Rush Limbaugh. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on. I wasn't a big Rush Limbaugh fan. There's no way in hell I look forward to listening to Rush Limbaugh, the big blowhard. I had nothing against. Oh, actually, he passed away. I'm sorry. And after taking mounds and mounds and mounds of painkillers, I mean, he was on a lot of painkillers at one time. I think Rush was on maybe 200 painkillers a day. He would actually go on the he would go on the street. He would he would go on the street like he couldn't get his painkillers in a reputable place. Why are you going on the street to buy your painkillers? That's no class. Get your 200 painkillers a day from a pharmacy. I didn't like Rush Limbaugh. I didn't care for Rush Limbaugh. He did not have talent from God. I did not care for Rush Limbaugh. I sound like Alice Cramden. I did not care for Rush Limbaugh. When Ralph would walk in, "What are you doing, Ralph?" And then Cramden, the great Jackie Gleason, "What am I doing? What am I doing? You want to know what I'm doing?" "Yes. I want to know what you're doing, Ralph." "I'm doing because I'm doing." It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. It really was. Um, he made his television appearance on the $99,000 answer. He made his he made his television appearance, honey, right? And he says, he comes in. "So what? You know what's I'm standing on the corner. I'm standing on the corner down there. Do you think one person would come up to me and congratulate me for being on television? Not one person." Alice said, "I beg to differ, Ralph. I beg to differ. I had someone here just the other day. She said you are the biggest thing on television." Yeah, and then Ralph didn't get the joke, and it was good. You're the you're the biggest thing on television. Who's Steve from Is Steve from Manhattan on this line posing as a guy named Willie? Hey, if this is Steve from Manhattan, I can listen to you, Steve, all day. You know what you're talking about. You're a little bit rough around the edges, but that's okay. You know Ralph Romeo, but you're close. But you say once, if I was a call screener, Steve, I'm a call screener, right? Call screener. If you came on with your cockamamie voice, your stupid voice, whatever you're doing there to disguise yourself as Bud from Manhattan, or wherever Nick from Brooklyn, or Brian or something, you would have to utter one syllable, one measly syllable. If I was a call screener, I say, "Steve, you called about 4 or 5 times already, Steve." You'd be able to fool me if I was the host? You never called my radio show, by the way, Steve. I'm offended. Never one time did you call my show. I've been waiting for a long time for you to call the show. But listen, when you call, all you had to do was utter five, just one syllable, not five, one syllable, and I know it was you. I could pick up your voice. I've always cracked up calling. Yeah, Cindy points out, as you see there, that he comes up with these weird names. So sometimes they're normal names, Mark, Brian, like Cindy says. Then every then every then ev- then every once in a while, I'm stammering. I'm stammering. Every once in a while, he's a very bright guy. He's no dummy. Every once in a while, he'll make this crazy name up like Cornwell from Staten Island. There's nobody in Staten Island named Cornwell. No way. You got Vinny, you got Carmine, you got Nunzio. You don't have Cornwall. He'd make he'd make a I gotta get a haircut, man. I didn't feel like getting a haircut 'cause I don't like the way the guy cuts hair. I got a lot of hair on my head, boy. I have every bit of hair I had when I was 16 years old. It's a different color. It's certainly a different color, but man, oh man, but it gets wild. I look like a mad scientist. My God. And by the way, what is this obsession, Steve in Manhattan? What is this obsession with Pat Buchanan? What are you doing with Pat Buchanan? What is the reason Buchanan? What is the reason? What is that? The studio claimed he was. Yeah. What? What is the reason you keep uttering Buchanan over and over again? Stop it. Then the one show he actually calls Benigno. I hear him call Joe Benigno on FAN at the 5 o'clock show. Over here, we have roosters. So the rooster actually tells me that it's time for Joe Benigno's show. By the way, I want to show you some beautiful paintings that I want you to buy. We have a set here, a three-piece set here. No, not that one down below. We have a three-piece set here. That's a beautiful, beautiful. It's called steampunk, and it's gorgeous. My wife put so much toil and so much heart and so much verve and panache, which she possesses a great deal of, into these three wonderful paintings. And I'm going to show them to you right now. Right now. I can only do one at a time. The first in the set. Now, can you catch? This is a wonderful. I'm going to cover my whole face. Can you hear me? I'm covering my face for something much prettier. You see that? That's a beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I could. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand back. Standing back. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I put my good clothes on. As you can see, I got my sweatpants. My thing is hanging out. No, that's the string. There's two that are actually almost alike, and they go on the side of the big. Yes, this is a gorgeous piece of work right here. You want me to do here? That's how okay, because so originally, my fault there. Originally, it's created this way. It's created vertically this way. And just to hold them in comparison or in conjunction, you have these two are part of are part of the set. These two are part of the set, and the one that's the centerpiece of these are here. I don't want to. You can show how big they are. The one, would you say, you know the square footage? You just pull this up so that way they can see one. The size in comparison. This one here is larger, as you see, but the three that I held up, these three that I held up is part of the steampunk set, and it's a really good stuff. Beautiful stuff, beautiful abstract, and you can't, now I'm just giving you a taste. Where I stand right now, you could see the gorgeous detail beautifully. I'm going to show you the fourth. This one, I don't have. I'm going to show you. It's made with putty and. Does this go like modeling putty? Yeah, just like that. Any way they want to. Okay, this is made. This is a little bit different structure, where this is made with putty and what else? Just putty and paint and. Yeah, it has a puttying process in this one, and it's gorgeous. This is the one that stands by itself. The other three I showed you previously is the set called Steampunk. Yeah. And I will give you prices on these, and please, because this goes to a good cause, us. I will give you prices on these in a little while. But just I want you to take them in, and I'm going to show you again in a little while after I get done with my diatribe here. Sorry. You're welcome. I'm not through yet. Yes, and Lionel Conan. It was different names one. And by the way, I'm not on testosterone. I got people telling me I'm on steroids. Are you kidding me? If I was on steroids, I'd be twice my size. I weigh 168 pounds at 6 feet. Get out of here. I'm on, the only thing I take is creatine. I told you that the last time. The only supplement I'm taking right now, I do take creatine, which is, of course, bless you, babe. Of course, just the only supplement. I won't even supplement with vitamin D anymore because vitamin D can be easily. I will. I have to check my levels because vitamin D can be easily overdosed. It's a hormone, and you can't go crazy. Regardless of what anybody says to you. There was a guy, I don't know his name. Oh, he's got cat's eye or cat's tail or cat's paw, cat's ass, something like that. Cat's ass. I think it was cat's ass. He actually said to me, "Oh no." I could just see the way he talks. I could hear it in my mind's eye how he talked. No, you gotta. No, no, you have no idea what you're doing here, Romeo. No idea whatsoever what you're doing here. You could take as much vitamin D as you want to take. You could take mounds of vitamin D. It makes no difference whatsoever what kind of mounds and mounds and mounds of vitamin D you take. You just take the vitamin D at random. No, no, genius. I'm sorry. No, you can't just supplement with vitamin D willy nilly. You can't do that. Oh, people are strange when you're a stranger. People seem wicked when you're alone. Um, yes, Lionel. Lionel would be calling with different names. Yes, and Lionel would be calling. Oh, really? Lionel, Lionel would prank Curtis Lewa. We don't just have to talk about radio, by the way. We can talk about it, and I'm willing. I mean, I'll go forever on the radio. We can talk about movies, we can talk about sports. You know sports, right? The fat cats. We can talk all these guys making a mountain of money. Jesus crackers. Give me a break. Anyone has a question about talk radio? Oh, Steve posing as Willie. My friend, and by the way, I love Steve. See, Steve, if you're gonna give me needles, if you're gonna try to take my show away, and by the way, you can answer anybody's question. I don't care. Steve is actually taking questions. Steve is the expert here, not me, right? But let me ask you a question, Steve. How many years have you been doing this, Steve? And you know something? I don't know if anybody knows what you look like. Not that it matters. How old are you, Steve? Manhattan, Willie in this case. How old are you, Steve? And how many years have you been doing this? I've gotten a kick out of you for years, man. I sat up, I used to sit up and listen to show after show, different shows. He calls one station, and before you know it, you turn to see what's on the other station. He's calling the guy over there. He's already gotten through the call screener. He's gotten through the call screener somehow. These goofballs, they're so stupid. He's gotten through the call screener and he's calling another show within minutes. He's on the air again. What a contortionist. What a contortion. Oh, this is the guy. Oh, yeah, and also Willie. Willie keeps leaving messages like five. Listen to me, Willie, Steve. When you leave, no, he's okay. When you leave, I'm not censoring anybody. I'm not in the mood because say what you want. I don't care. What was I going to say though? Now, damn it, I can't remember. But when you do that, when you respond to my video one time, make it this big if you have to, right? Make it you, but one time. Don't leave 6, 7, 8, 10 responses. It's impolite. It's a very, very selfish thing to do. Very selfish. It really is. Just leave one response and make it as long as you want. Glamorous, okay, ginormous. Leave one response, and that's it. That's it. But no, but what I'm saying is Attracting attention is one thing, but let's, I don't know. It's just it let's put it this way. If anybody else tried to do what I'm spending so much time on this guy, he must be flattered. If if, um if anybody else tried to do what he does, it would never work. This is I'm sure people have tried and it did work, once in a while, time to time. But if anybody tried to do what he does, they could not pull it off. They could not pull it off in a million years. An expert. He's an expert. Somebody lives my glasses. Robbie Zucker lives my glasses. He can't type. He lives my glasses. Every time I put these glasses on, he lives vicariously. He means loves. He meant to say loves, but he said he lives vicariously through me and looking very intellectual. I can see. I can see. I look like Mr. Heat. Nice hair. You look like Mr. Heat Miser. What is Mr. Heat Miser? Do you know, sweetie? Is it a derogatory remark? Mm, people are weird when you're a weirdo. People look different when you are strange. Rewriting the song, I'll sing it my way. I'll create in the moment. Anyway, no, it's really cool. Oh, thank you. This wasn't derogatory. It's really cool. Yeah, look, you see that? And do you believe you look at that? And did you know that people have said, I said at the top of the program, that people said that I have a toupee. Come on, man, you could do better. Jesus crackers. Um, his sister got raided making advertisers. Oh, answering somebody else. This is not. My friend Steve's a minute from getting blocked, but we'll let him go. This is just a lot of fun and games. By the way, those wonderful paintings that I showed before. I know many people see this in rerun. I call it a rerun. I'm sorry, I call it a rerun. When it's on there after the live show and it's on there, remains on there, I call it a rerun. I call it a rerun. Um, the paintings I showed you before, the three-piece set, if you will, steam steampunk is now it's negotiable. I'm going to start it at $600 for the three-piece set. The other single is far more intricate, and the single sells by itself for the same $600. And also, if I make 2 sales today, you could have both of them for that price. But that's the lowest I could possibly go if you make a move now, and, we'll do that. If you make a move now, you gotta do it quickly because frankly, the thing that we're doing, I wanna sell all of these wonderful things. The thing that we're doing right now, is, something it's Cindy's heart and soul in there. And, as I look back now, what I'm saying, um, you gotta buy the 3 just so you know you're clear. You can't buy the 3-piece singularly. You have to buy them as a set. And the other one is standing by itself. Okay, Ed Koch, if you agree with it. Yeah, if you agree with, Ed Koch, 9 out of 10 I used to see Ed Koch in my gym all the time. Ed Koch would walk in on 57th Street in a place called Synergy. Synergy used to be right alongside the Hard Rock Cafe. I don't know if the Hard Rock Cafe is still on 57th, but Synergy, this health club, would be right next to it. Koch would come in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he'd actually stand around for an hour. He'd take his street clothes off. He'd put fitness clothes on, stand around the gym for an hour, and then he would he put his gym clothes back on, not doing one set. I don't think Ed Koch, every time I saw him for years and years, did one set. whatsoever. Oh, now my friend knows that I once competed. I blew that audition, Steve. And Steve, just tell me that you're Steve. Write in Willie, write in your comment, "Hi, I'm Steve. I trust you, Ralph. You're not like the others. You don't care what I do. I have no contempt for you. I love you, Steve. I love you. I love what you do. You're an artist, Steve. You're an artist." But just but I want to say, classic when you competed in the host. Okay, you were there watching this. That's interesting. When I competed in the, I was kept over. They used to have, if you don't know, they used to have these competitions where people would show up. They'd have it at a mall or some big meeting place, and they'd advertise it on the fan, and then people would show, just regular people that had the talk show Jones. They wanted to be a talk show host. They would show up at these events, and they compete. And questions asked. They just compete. Most people got tossed aside right away. I made the finals. I made a bad mistake. Instead of being my normal, I guess, jovial self, I tried to be, I was a little bit too serious, too cerebral. And when I this is going way back. My friend Christian and I went. Christian didn't compete, but he went, and I miss Christian very much. But back, it had to be, that had to be maybe about 2001, that fateful year, that horrific year when the planes crashed into those buildings. Disaster. But I remember it had to be about 2001 or something like that. But I was too when I was great going to the finals, and then I was too cerebral and too serious for some reason. I don't know what came over me. And the last read, the last rant, whatever you want to call it, I blew it. I blew it. Then I got my own radio show, so screw 'em. Bring back, and you know how the first time I was on the radio, I substituted for a guy, and he couldn't make it. He got into a car crash. He got into an accident on the way to the studio, and he said, "Can you do 3 hours?" I said, "Yeah." And I bullshitted for 3 hours. Anyway, bring back Stern Opie. By the way, Howard Stern, never a fan. People have asked me. I have never listened to Howard Stern even once. I admit I saw that show that he used to do. I did see the show he used to do on ETV, E-television. I saw that 2 times maybe, but I have never listened to Howard. I don't understand. I mean, he was bigger than God at one time. No offense. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's never been my cup of tea. Opie and Anthony, never listen. This guy Opie, not Opie, Anthony, I'm sorry. This guy Anthony on WABC, no comment. He's all right. Channel 9 show was, yeah, oh, okay, Gino, he had a Channel 9 show. You're right. An ETV show. What used to be ETV. Does entertainment television still exist? I'm not sure. But he would do a show on both places, and very, very interesting. In Secaucus, New Jersey, very good. Secaucus. Remember when Grant used to sing that song? I was raucous in Secaucus on a Saturday, something like that. I was raucous in Secaucus on a Saturday night. Someone in the studio, man. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But oh, I get it. Okay, it was first on Channel 9, then on the E network. I get what you mean. Never a Stearns guy, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of radio personalities from the past. Art Russ Jr. was my guy. Severe gambling problem, but what a guy. He owed a lot of people money. All right, Richard Bay, who you just mentioned, Gino. You could find Richard Bay right here on my channel with we've done, the two of us have done great programming together right here on this channel. I just had Richard on my show, on my channel. I always mix up the show and channel. I had Richard on my channel about 3 weeks ago. So you can find the most recent Richard Bay interview right here on Ralph Romeo. And by the way, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Don't get all this top notch humor. All this top-notch humor doesn't come for free. And if you want to join, if you want to see these good interviews, these excellent interviews with the prior ones with Joe Badingo, you want to see Mike Farrell, BJ Honeycutt from MASH, Alan Alda, you want to see Donnie Most from Happy Days, you want to see Dennis Tufano, the great singer, you want to see the whole cast of Ambrosia, the whole band Ambrosia I had on. I had Frankie Valli on many years ago. You could see it right here on my channel. You could also see um, I'm trying. There's so many that Chubby Checker on my channel. All the oldies. You could see so many interviews. Oh, who's the guy? Who's the creepy guy, honey? Walter Egan. He's a great guy. I shouldn't say that, but he was on. He was on the channel. Walter Egan. Remember? You can see Walter Egan, but you have to join the membership club to see those specific ones. And Richard Bay, you can catch, I think, but Ed Koch. Yeah, Richard Bay, we haven't put it exclusively on that yet. But Ed Koch, um, yeah, he was a judge for a while. It didn't work out. It was okay. Yeah, it was actually okay. The greatest judge was not Judge Judy. I never cared for Judge Judy, not really. The other judge they had on there, they had a million judge shows. I didn't care for the judge shows too much. It was okay. What was that? Judge Joe Brown? Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, we said Richard Bay is not. Yeah, Walter Egan, just to be clear, Walter Egan is on the what do you call that exactly? Membership only. Membership situation here. I want to show you these paintings by my beautiful wife again. But and by the way, Walter Egan, not to put that serious musician. Serious musician. He has his video from the past. He's got this video about 1977 or something like that. It's it is the campiest, the funniest thing when he's what's his claim to fame? What was his song again? Magnet and Steel. Magnet and Steel. Go back and see the original video of Magnet and Steel and check it out. You're gonna have a good chuckle, but he's great. Um, the ice cream, yum, 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 yum. And by the way, Richard Bay is very much a lefty. So all you conservatives out there, don't get crazy when you see Richard Neer not talking your language. I'm sorry, Richard Bay. I meant to say Richard Bay, not talking your language. I'm going to get these paintings on one more time. And by the way, these paintings are up for bidding. I'm going to start the bidding for these three at 600. And I know this plays later on, and we'll check out the messages. But I really would appreciate if you give them a good look. And I'll be back with some more talk. But give them a good look. I'll show you the three-piece set. Yeah, I'm making sure about that. I'm trying to now.
The light doesn't do it justice, really.
Yeah, I mean it gets a glare from our ring light here, but this is one of the three-piece set, and it's really gorgeous. The gold is so beautiful, and the intricate detail is gorgeous. And I want this is all abstract, by the way. This is what my wife specializes in. I'm trying to hold these properly. And this is the other one. I can't hold all three, unfortunately. We didn't have a stand. So this, and you could see the black. You can see it very well right now, both of them. As I see in my shot here, you can see that very well right here. These are two of the three-piece steampunk set. Stump punk. I know a few of those. These are the you have a new name for a new set, honey. These are stump punks. This is steampunk punk. I'll get it. Not steampunk. Steampunk. That's two of them. And let me show you the third. I don't want to ruin them as I place them on the bed. This goes here, and this is a gorgeous third piece. Third piece of that set.
Two black ones go on the sides of
And as you see, the black with the gold design are made to put side by side to this one, which differs.
Oh, you don't put side by side, you put the big gold one in the middle.
The gold. I meant to grab the gold. The gold goes in the middle of those other two. And I hope you could stay with me because unfortunately, I don't have three hands. I don't have three hands. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the third, the fourth. I forgot the fourth. Here it is. The fourth is beautiful. It stands by itself. I'm trying to get it perfectly for you, and it's good. It stands by itself. It's beautiful.
Gold, antique gold,
This is so interesting.
brass.
This is so. In case my voice is being blocked by this, I want to make sure you hear me. This is so intricate. So intricate. You have to see it in person. You have to buy it to appreciate it fully. That's a good selling point there. In order to really appreciate the detail and the everything that my wife put into this, you gotta buy it. You gotta buy it. Give me a price. I have my price starting at $600. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Hours and hours of toil. And it's very interesting how different artists work in different ways. Um, while one artist cannot work without an easel, another artist can't work without a bed. Now, Cindy does a lot of this stuff on the mattress. Woody Allen wrote Annie Hall on his bedroom mattress. Woody Allen wrote the one Broadway Danny Rose on his mattress. Woody Allen actually wrote most of his material throughout his career. The great Woody Allen, you heard me. You heard me, all you detractors out there. Woody Allen, the great Woody Allen wrote most of his material in his New York apartment on his mattress. Longhand, on his bed, I should say now. Longhand. Longhand. Um, just Johnny Carson one. And by the way, I didn't, and this is the thing I forgot to do. My email to get in touch to buy one of these wonderful paintings. We can negotiate the price, but don't no insults because at least we have to have some validity here. And the thing what I want you to do is to go to Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. And if you want to go there, I do wonderful, wonderful fitness training. I will get you in the I'm 65 years old. By the way, I'll stay, okay? 65, 65, 65 years old. No steroids, nothing. In fact, I should say, and if you want to train, I'm not doing that to show off. I just want to tell you that because I've seen so many trainers not look the part. And I've been in the fitness field off and on, mostly on for since 1978. So if you want to train and you want to do it virtually, because you can't get to me and I can't get to you more than likely. We do it on the Zoom connection or whatever connection that you had, we could adapt to it, but we mostly do we want to actually I have to stand by the Zoom mostly because that's what we have installed here. We have Zoom connection. So if you want to train at home, you want to get some I'll whip you into shape. And I also have, and then, by the way, the type of trainer that gauges your session exactly what you want done. I'm not going to kill you within the first week where you're just ridiculously sore and you're cursing me. You're going to ease your way if you haven't been exercising. You're going to when we talk about nutrition, when we talk about this your specific workout and what you need to do and we do it. By the way, I want to say that I actually, if requested, I actually do the workout with you right here on Zoom. We perform the workout on Zoom, or we can have a session, a nutrition session. Romeo Radio Show. I have so many emails. Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. Romeo Radio Show
Romeo?
at gmail.com. Like my phys ed teacher used to say, Romeo, this man could not say a W. I mean, he couldn't say an R. He said a W for R. Romeo, you're a great athlete, a great athlete.
Oh,
Yes.
um, one person left comments asking about doing a live for about Patterson.
Oh,
Is
you
it Patterson? I was thinking of with Josh.
okay? Someone at this time or the last time?
I don't know. I just remember seeing the comment.
Okay. Someone asked about Paterson, New Jersey, my hometown. Um, wanting to see a video just on Paterson. That would have a very niche or niche, whatever you prefer. That would have a very niche audience. And oh, somebody just said Ozempic is the new trainer. Forget it.
Oh,
You know what Ozempic? And again, if somebody's obese, you got to do what you can to prevent yourself from dying. If somebody's a couple of 100 pounds overweight, they have to take drastic measures. But the ordinary person is doing him or herself a vast disservice if he or she opts for Ozempic. If you opt for Ozempic, this is a diabetes medicine that's all the rage. I get it. You lose too much muscle mass. You're losing muscularity. You can't afford to lose muscle mass. With the loss of muscle mass comes illness, comes disease, comes a myriad of problems. It does not take off the weight the way it should take off the weight. It is not a remedy. That's why Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com, I'll get the weight off you the correct way, the right way, the way that you should be able to continue for years on end. This is not a quick fix. If you're an exercise person and you're diligent and you're religious about your exercise, you know this is not a quick fix. This is nothing that can happen overnight. Although, if you do it correctly, you can quicken the pace and you can really show some great progress. If you're training and you show no progress whatsoever, I mean, if you're just going to the gym, going through the motions, thinking that maybe you can put on some muscle by just maybe 8 or 10 machines, it's all well and good because anything is better than nothing. And of course, it does increase muscle mass to a certain extent. But if you go into the gym with no rhyme or reason, no plan, you're about to be dreadfully disappointed. I mean, at the top of the new year, when everybody makes their New Year's resolutions to get in shape, so on and so forth, they forget that not everybody needs a trainer. You can do it by yourself, but I'm telling you that I suggest highly when we have this sophisticated way of communicating. I suggest that you buy some sessions with me. They're very reasonable. You buy some sessions and we do this thing straight up with the two of us right here on the computer, on virtually. And we also nutrition counseling coming your way. All the thing, what you hear about nutrition these days sometimes is so far fetched. Um, yes, you cut your carbohydrates, you're going to drop pounds. The moment you cut carbohydrates, you will drop pounds, but you need something, and you need a plan that you can carry out for more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I would never suggest a zero carb thing for more than 4 or 5 days.
I think it was Gino that was
You
saying
you
something about
cannot, yeah, was he? And you cannot, and anybody that's interested, you go to Romeo Radio Show, shoot me that email. I'll get right back to you. Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. I'd give my telephone number. I give my own number on the radio show that I do. I give my own number there. I'm afraid to give my own number here. So I don't give you my cell number. But those of you who have my cell number, feel free to call. And don't forget the nutrition is arm in arm with the exercise, and they both go together. and we can create something beautiful. But let's get back here. Eating good. Who said that? Here's what Gino said. Hey, eating good helps a whole lot. I'm kidding you, Gino. You know I'm kidding. Eating well helps a great deal. It really does. You have to. You have to eat well. My good friend Gino, he's been with me for an hour now. All right. Paterson, New Jersey was surrendered in the 60s. Well, surrendered in what way? In what way there? Oh, I know what you mean. It's a hellhole. I went to my wife and I and a friend, Josh Suri. Josh, if you hear this, see this, it's a little bit. Oh, let me turn the speaker off the whole time I had it on. Um, Listen to this. I always push the wrong one. Um, we went to visit Mayor Saya in Paterson year and a half ago or so. Cindy and I and Josh. Mayor Say of Patterson could not be nicer. He was very welcoming, and we sat there in City Hall. We talked for a long time. We went outside a little bit. I visited Hinchcliffe Stadium in Patterson. I used to play in Hinchcliffe in 1976, 75. It was dilapidated. They revitalized Hinchcliffe Stadium in Patterson. If you know about Patterson, New Jersey, Hinchcliffe Stadium, the Negro leagues played in Hinchcliffe Stadium. I mean, if you know your history about black baseball, Josh Gibson, Satchel Paige pitched. Josh Gibson caught in Hinchcliffe Stadium, at Hinchcliffe Stadium, in Hinchcliffe Stadium, however you want to say it, in Paterson, New Jersey. They revitalized. The best exercise is some donuts and pizza. I can imagine what our friend, after he says that, he's actually right. He's a ball buster. Hinchcliffe Stadium is just a beautiful spot. I actually had good pictures. I wonder if I can post some of those Hinchcliffe pictures. Maybe we'll post them on Cindy. By the way, Cindy's, should I give you Facebook? Cynthia Romeo on Facebook. Cynthia Romeo, Romeo on Face. Oh, Gen X. Cynthia Romeo, Gen X on Facebook. You can get in touch with my wife. Yeah, donuts and all that kind of thing. Um, it's the same one. Yeah, it's been real, you know. But when I think about the are they going to strike? Are these fat cats gonna strike? These guys are not making enough money. These professional athletes, they got you over a barrel. I'll tell you that. They have no shame whatsoever. They don't care about you. They couldn't care less about you. This is the way I approach my sports at 65 years old. It's a plaything. They couldn't care less about you. They actually had disdain for you. When you're there applauding, woo woo, you're going crazy like the idiot you are. They don't care about you. They laugh at you. These guys making, that are way out of your tax bracket, they're laughing at you. They're saying, why why are they yelling and listen to these assholes yelling and screaming? What kind of people? They're yelling and screaming. That's what they think of the fans. And of course, this is not 100% down the line. This is not every athlete I'm talking about. I'm talking about the majority. I'm talking about 90%. I'm being kind. 9 out of 10 feel that way. Believe me. And yeah, and that's true. And you goofy people that wear the jerseys, I feel bad wearing it was over here. I feel bad wearing a champion insignia here because champion's not paying for me. I feel bad wearing the champion insignia. But my father played the ponies. My father couldn't stop playing the ponies. Great man, my father, Angelo. But yeah, these guys, they are so putrid. How many times have you heard people say, with these outrageous salaries, just give them what they want? Give them what they want. Oh, the guy wants 40 million more. Give him 40 million. You mean you got outbid? You were outbid by a West Coast team? How could the New York Mets have been outbid outbid by the Dodgers. How could they? Who cares? That they weren't stupid. That's why they didn't go the extra yard. So what? Now I regret that they did that because the guy was a pretty good reliever. He blew up sometimes. He wasn't a. I wouldn't say he was an all-time reliever. The guy that they had, what's his name again? Sosa, Soda. No, that's Soda. Hey, what's his name again? Who's the guy? Who's the reliever that they traded to the Dodgers? Somebody help me. I'm going blank. By the way, the Super Bowl? No way. I haven't watched a Super Bowl since 1942. They didn't have him then. I haven't watched a Super Bowl since 1988. Something like that. Anyway, but I had such Edwin Diaz. Thank you, Diaz. Edwin Diaz. Thank you, Elephant. Of course. I had such a wonderful, wonderful experience with Willie Mays one time. Willie Mays was the biggest grouch in the world. Yes, sometimes he was nice. Yeah, he played stickball with the kids, and I know that he wasn't only a grouch sometimes. One time when the Giants visited in 1971, I was 10 years old, about to be 11, and I said, "Hey, Willie, sign my baseball, Willie." And Willie's about 20 feet away from me, right? He hears me because he hears me, right? Willie McCovey, the first baseman, huge. Willie McCovey is standing a few feet from Willie Mays, thinking that I'm calling him over. Willie McCovey, the nicest man in the world, walks over to me, signs everything. He signed my jacket that I had on. I had a light colored jacket on. He signed my jacket. He signed my baseball. He did everything. Um, and Willie Mays, and he was beautiful. I think he's passed away, and so has Willie Mays. Rest in peace. I never say that, but it just came out. I like to say condole. I like to say other things, but nice things, not bad. But Willie Mays came. Willie Mays said, "Get away from me, kid," because I kept yelling his name. He got annoyed. He's playing cat. He got annoyed. He said, "Get away, leave me alone, kid. Get away from me, kid." I took that. I took that slight, and I'll take it to the grave, which I hope is going to be 40 years from now, 105. I take it to the grave. I take that slight by Willie Mays back in 1971. I take that to heart. I will never, I'm like Elephant. I'm just like Elephant. I will never forget. I have somebody named Elephant with 5 or 6 paragraphs, I'm sure. I'll never forget. Never forget. I take that forever. Willie Mays, the say hey kid, he's got his nerve. He's got his nerve sliding me. All right, I had a ball. I had a ball. Um, one more time on our set. We have. I'll show you the outer pieces in the set that you will feature them in your home. These are the outer pieces of the 3-piece steampunk set. Those are the pieces. And you can get in touch and buy these wonderful creations. Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. Those are the wonderful abstracts. This is the centerpiece of that. This goes in the center, with part of the steampunk set. This is the other, and it's gorgeous. Very beautiful. By Cynthia Romeo, of course. I want to make sure you know. And I'm trying to, this is the one that catches the light with a little glare. And I'm trying to show you all different angles so you can take in as much as you can. But as I said before, it's very shiny, very sparkly. Very sparkly, very shiny. But like I said before, that's a threesome. That's a threesome. That goes in threes. This is the piece that stands alone. It has no name, but you could definitely name it. By the way, this one I hate to see go because it is one of my favorites. In fact, when she painted this is a putty creation along with the paint, but it's just gorgeous. It really is. I like to walk the streets with this thing. and grab all kinds of attention. I'll tell you that. Let me tell you, Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. Romeo, Romeo, I'm trying to vamp my wife here. Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. It's working, Rob.
It's working well.
She just gave me an Alice Cramden. It's working, Rob. It's working. There's nothing in it. You're the biggest thing on television. Oh, man. How about when Ralph said to Alice, he said, Ralph said, Alice mentions when they're through with the $99,000. If you come home, Alice says, if you come home with $600, I think it was 400 actually, when I think about it. If you come home with a $400, Ralph, I'll be perfectly happy with $400. And then 400, then Ralph comes back, Jackie Gleason, the great Jack, the great one. $400 for peanuts. What am I going to do with peanuts, Alice? What am I going to do with peanuts? And then Alice comes back with a retort, eat them, just like any other elephant. And I think elephant could appreciate that. Eat them, just like any other elephant. Remember when pins and needles, needles and pins. A happy woman is a woman that grins. Now, what am I? He's got Norton at his side, and somebody gave him this cockamamie saying to keep saying when he got aggravated. So then, pins and needles, needles and pins. A happy man is a man that grins. Now I ask the question, what am I mad about? And then Norton said, he just got fired, Ralph. He just got fired from that job. There's a whole episode dedicated. It could never fly these days. I mean, now you're talking about the episode at Bert Wiedemeyer's house.
Yeah.
Bert, you do make a good cookie, Bert. I love the good cookie, Bert. There was a now if you're a real Honeymooners fan, during the course of this episode, Bert Wiedemeyer, he's trying to butter up brown nose Bert Wiedemeyer. He's trying to get a job or something, trying to brown nose the wife. The wife is very pretentious. She's walking around with a tight dress. He says, all you have to do. How do you come up with these wonderful names, Mrs. Wiedemeyer, for each other? All you have to do is pick your husband's most outstanding feature and you make a nickname out of it. And then Alice says, isn't that right, Tubby? And it was very, very funny. But there was one part, Alice said that to Ralph. There was, isn't that right, Tubby? Tubby! Tubby! He got aggravated. Tubby! And then Mrs. Wiedemeyer said, I think that's a perfectly darling name. I call you Killer because you slay me. And I'm calling Bellevue because you're nuts. He comes back home, and Alice is dressing like Mrs. Wiedemeyer. Alice is actually, Alice comes down in a slinky dress. She starts to caress Ralph's big, huge, fat body. And he said, what did he say? What do you? Ralph just comes out because he's acting goofy. You been at that rum candy again? You been at that? And then Alice comes back. Who needs rum? It's you who go to my head. You intoxicate me. It's beautiful. All right, enough with the honeymooners. I call you Killer because you slay me. All right. The greatest line from the honeymooners, I have to say, the greatest line from the honeymooners is actually when, during that Wiedemeyer episode, they're at their apartment, the Wiedemeyers. Something happened unexpectedly. He dropped a piece of food. For some reason, the food is there. He said, Mr. Wiedemeyer said, leave it there, the cat'll get it." "Leave it there, the cat'll get it." Ralph responds, "Leave it there, the cat'll get it. Ha ha! Leave it there." And he turns to Alice and says, "Leave it there, the cat'll get it, Alice. I heard." Alice comes back with, "I heard. I don't think it's funny. I have a splitting headache, Ralph, and the best place for me is home." And Ralph comes back with, "Well, Trixie, when you get her home, make sure she goes right to bed." I mean, both of us, Ralph. What are you trying to do? All right, that's enough. I really enjoyed this immensely, immensely. Ralph is this century's Jack. Is that our friend still? Stephen Manhattan, is he still with us? You want to get a full force here? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's good stuff. If I showed you my abs, you'd fall down. Who at 65 has abs and has, you know what I mean? Natural. Now I'm gonna go and now I'm gonna now I'm gonna go lie down a while. Because I am 65. Not today. I took it light. I may hit it right now before my next. Yes. But what do you have before I say goodbye that I've forgotten? Anything? Because I want to be smart this time. Okay, she has a you have a headache, a splitting headache. Yeah. Cindy, you see the TV? Cindy banged her head on our kitchen TV there. We have a kitchen TV. She banged her. She was cleaning something below that TV, and she conked her head right in the forehead. It was terrible. Right on that, right on that TV, and that was horrendous. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. The email again for Cindy's wonderful paintings that we showed you 100 times, 3 times, is Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. Romeo Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. If you want to take me up on those excellent in-home sessions that I offer via Zoom, people are taking me up left and right, and you should too. The ones that I offer on Zoom in home, you don't have to go anywhere. The gym will get you somewhere, but not where you want to go. We've specialized that session just for you. I'll evaluate you completely. I've been at this game off and on again, as I said, for my God, since 1978. What is that? My goodness, 48 years. So I'm quick. I'm quick. 48 years. So I think I know what I'm talking about. And also those great nutrition sessions. Also, we can combine both the fitness and the nutrition, or you can go for one or the other. And I spend time. I have no time limit. When we get together, I don't say, we'll hang out for an hour, 2 hours. The session is going to be long enough, believe me, never too short. But if we're making some inroads, I'm going to keep it going. Romeo Radio Show. I always forget. Romeo Radio Show at gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe. And by the way, self promoting, if I don't do it, I'm going to go to the poorhouse. If I don't do it, nobody's going to do it. I have to talk on my behalf. And my wife does it for me many times beautifully, but I have to talk on my behalf, and she has to talk on my behalf and her behalf. Nobody else is going to do it. So it's part of the program, but not a very small part compared to all the jibber jabber. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, just because I went on a live broadcast today does not preclude me from going to that live broadcast on our usual Sunday. Sunday we do it at 3:30. I may change it to 3 o'clock. Maybe it's a solid number. It might be better. It's on the top of the hour. But as of right now, look for a Sunday live program. And all the things I say about all these hosts and all these things I say, it's all for fun. Nothing personal. The live show on Sunday, but before that, I'm going to throw out a couple of good videos. I have one on Bruce Springsteen and his terrible anthem, protest anthem that he threw together in 2 seconds. Take it easy.